Hey guys, it is Chad here from the Battle Warrior Podcast, and I'm just letting all you listeners know that the Battle Warrior Podcast episodes will be available across all podcast platforms, guys. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this brand new episode today. Hey guys, welcome to the Battle Warrior Podcast. We have a phenomenal guest on the other end here, and you guys that are listening to podcast episodes know that 2023 and 2024, we're bringing on more guests that are tapping into more of the fitness / mindset to how you become a warrior throughout the whole lifestyle and how you transform into something new. And this guest here has actually been in my circle for about a year and a half. We are very good friends with the familiar guy in the circle that probably mentored both of us on certain moments. But he is the owner of Lifestyle Linden. He is absolutely crushing it over in Draper, Utah, on top of all the other networks that you're part of. I want to bring Michael Burns on, but the most important thing here, guys, is I understand he's got a phenomenal real estate background, but we're going a little different on here. We're going to tap into the fitness and how he changed his life originally from the money of the real estate and then got control of his fitness and then now the business on the other end of it. So we want to tap into that transitional moment of how the fitness overtook how the lifestyle he has now. So, man, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And like I said in the intro here, it's a long intro, but I want to tap into that. I know about a month and a half ago, you posted a old photo of yourself, and I'm like, I got to bring you on the show because the old photo was completely different than how you are now. How much? Let's start with the old person and then the transformation where you're now. So at that old person, what was a typical daily routine with that?
I think what's interesting is, so the photo you're referring to, because a lot of people will probably hear this on audio, like I'm down 35, 40 pounds. So I'm 5'6", and like my heaviest was about 204. And then right now I'm about 170. I leaned out down to about 160. So depending on where you're at, 30 to 40 pounds. But dude, I've been going to the gym for the last 10 years, 12 years. But what happened was I was going to the gym, but I wasn't in alignment when I wasn't at the gym working out, like the rest of the 23 hours in the day. I wasn't in alignment with my goals at the gym. So it's like I was sitting there and doing all the work at the gym, but I wasn't really getting results because all the other areas that support the fitness and you know, like losing weight or building muscle, all of the different things, I wasn't in alignment there, you know. So when I started really looking at all of that, that's when I started getting results, you know. So what does that look like? Like I got my blood work done, and then working with the doctor, TJ, my buddy TJ from with the Institute of Natural Health, just to give him a plug, out of St. Louis. Did my blood work. So we were at an event in St. Louis at an RT meetup, and he had about 6 of us. He brought a phlebotomist to the hotel, and she took all of our blood, and it was an executive blood panel. So it kind of started there. And when the results came back, like I thought I was healthy. I thought I ate good. I go to the gym. I drink water. I've done 75 hard at that point a couple of times. And when the results came back, it was like super eye-opening. I had high cholesterol. I had low testosterone, high estrogen. My kidneys weren't functioning very well. My thyroid was pretty much non-existent, and a bunch of other things. And when I asked TJ, I said, hey man, based on my blood work and the results, like, how would you assume that I feel? And he's like, you know, you're probably sleepless, you know, thuggish, lethargic, like really tough time in the afternoons, just tired all the time. And everything that he said, I was like, yeah, dude, that's exactly how I feel. I feel like I'm being healthy, but I feel like shit still, you know? So that's where it kind of started, was with that. And then getting the right supplements in place. And that's what TJ helped me out with. So I started taking the supplements. So now my body, it's kind of like if you have a Ferrari, but you're putting 87 gas into it. That's pretty much what I was doing with my body. And then so I started doing that. And then the second piece that really helped me out a bunch is I got a trainer And not so much for the workouts because I'm real comfortable in the gym, but how he structured my workouts. And then also they did my food. So then I started looking at macros and counting, the calories, the fat, the carbs, all of that stuff, and bringing science in. And one thing that I want to really point out too, because I'm a really big believer in coaches and education, like you and I met through, I believe it was Tony, but bringing in a coach and someone who could help me with what I thought I was doing made a huge difference. And that was kind of the foundation of everything. And then just being disciplined and putting all of those pieces together. Now I look the best that I ever have. I feel the best that I ever have. And things are just really good.
And absolutely converting to your business. I want to tap into another question here, especially because blood work and all this is actually, I don't want to call it new. It's a quiet industry that you don't really know about unless you're in the circles, right? And I'm gonna give you a little example. So I'm turning 38 in March. I'm 5'9", about $170 somewhere in there. I also did lose 40 pounds just like yourself. I was 205, 210 in my early 20s. But the thing that I'm starting to notice is like every year I'm starting to get that dragginess, like where we're talking, just the mindset, right? So like you used to be, and I joke around with my girlfriend all the time, but I'm like, we used to be snappy, right? So like we'd go get something, whatever it is, the body had energy all day long. Now what's happening with myself prior is kind of like what you did, where it's like you work out all the time, but then you hit noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and you're already swigging down a half a pot of coffee on top of whatever else and just dragging ass. And to me, it's like that education now of where people are like the peptides, low T, all that stuff, where how badly are guys just getting absolutely hammered now in their 30s?
I mean, I think it just comes down to the lifestyle, like I have a really, really strong mindset. So like I can just push through, but then you get, again, I'll use that race car analogy. You can't run a Ferrari and not change the oil and not do all the things that make a Ferrari operate. Like if you have a high operating machine, you need to take care of it and make, I just got my truck back from the shop today. I have a TRX and I just took it in and had all the shit done to it because I want it to run the way that I want it to run. You need to do that with your body. But as far as men getting hammered, I think that if you look at the foods that we eat, like if you were to take like if you were to do blood work on the average man, like most men have low testosterone. And I believe that's because of the food and all the shit that's put into it. And I think that, our entire life and society is built around convenience and easy. And I think men are just fucking soft, So I think that, you have to make it a priority if you want it to be a priority. I talk about the daily disciplines and I have my structure of lifestyle and the 6 different buckets that are in there. But essentially, like, the priorities in your life have to be priorities. And if you don't keep them priorities, they're not going to be. And if you're not working on something and you're not putting in the work for something, like, what makes you think you're going to get the result? So like, you could be a dude who's, my age, I'm 36. And it's like, yeah, I would be getting hammered if I was just eating fast food all the time and not working out and watching fucking TV every night and just doing what the majority of Americans do. Yeah, I'd be overweight like I was. And I was even working all the time then, you know what I mean? So it's like, you're not going to be successful if you don't set yourself up to be successful.
Yeah, and I was going to say that goes on the mission too, because what I'm starting to notice, especially in both worlds, right? So we're in the entrepreneurship world. Also, I'm still in the corporate world, so I see both sides of it. But a lot of these guys, and we're going to go down this avenue because you brought it up, but like a lot of these guys are passive. They're kind of just cautious. They don't know what to do. It's, and how I explained it to someone yesterday, it's like the guys nowadays are stuck in a tornado with like 500 things just spinning because they're like social media. You got every day, you got entrepreneurship, you got online. It's just, guys are very, very passive because they don't have that clarity of saying, hey, we're going to grab something and go and take that loss and get over the fear of failing, get over the fear, whatever it is. So I was explaining that yesterday. And to me, I get it, right? Like you could stare at a guy and just like, you want to shake him, be like, dude, toughen up, let's go. But explain to me, like, how do you combat that? Because I know you're talking about 75 hard all the time. I finished it. I know people in my circle finished it, especially in my larger circle, done it multiple times. How much key to is that? I'm not going to call it a program. It's not a program, weight loss program, guys. It's just a thing that we do every day to keep us in line. But how much key to that or the steps of the discipline of that keeps you focused going forward?
So I think you mentioned 75 hard. All that is a program that kind of allows you to follow it, but essentially what it's doing is it's having you have daily things you have to do. So for those of you who aren't familiar with 75 hard, I'll go through it real quick. You have to do 2 workouts a day that are both 45 minutes each, but one of those workouts has to be outside. So you could have 2 outside workouts, but one has to be outside. And the reason that's part of it is it's because when Andy created it, like conditions are not always going to be ideal. So like the conditions outside, especially where I live in Utah, like it's snowing today. So it's not ideal to go do a 45-minute workout outside. So you're learning to go do something in a condition or an environment that you don't want to do. So let's transition that into business. Like if you get into sales, well, picking up the phone and doing cold calls is equivalent to going out and doing that 45-minute workout in the snow. You don't want to do it. It sucks. It's not comfortable. It's a really uncomfortable environment, but like you're either going to do it or you're not. So like that's part of it. And then the second, then it's drink a gallon of water every single day. Well, if you're drinking a gallon of water every single day, you're hydrating your body, you're flushing your body out. But in addition to that, you're not going to be drinking soda and energy drinks and a bunch of other bullshit because you're already consuming a gallon of water a day. Another part of the program is following a diet. It's any diet you pick. So that's great because you're picking a diet, but more importantly, it comes down to consistency and following the diet that you said you were going to do. So whatever, maybe you're looking to gain muscle, lose weight, whatever it is, it's more about, hey, this is the diet that I'm going to follow. And then the discipline of doing it every single day. Reading 10 pages of a self-development book is another part of the program, and reading 10 pages a day. Think about it. That's 300 pages in a month, which is about a book. So if you read 12 books a year, do you think you're going to be better off now or not? I mean, of course you are if you read 12 books or just 10 pages a day. And then the last piece of the program. So there's no cheat meals. There's no alcohol, also no drinking alcohol, no cheat meals. And then you have to take a progress photo. And the progress photo, what's cool about the progress photo is every day you take it and you don't really notice a difference from day 1 to day 2. But if you look at day 14 and day 21, you notice a difference. If you look at day 21 and day 45, you see a difference. And then that's doing is developing momentum. So 75 Hard is a great program because it has these key daily disciplines that are helping you in different areas of your life. But more than anything, it's mentally committing to something and doing it. And in the program, if you miss any one thing at all throughout you say I missed a progress photo on day 74, you have to start over. So there's no missing anything. And what that does is it makes you commit to these daily disciplines. So what I've done in my life, kind of coming off of that, I think that's a really hard thing to maintain. I don't know that that's a lifestyle thing for me, but my daily disciplines are usually I want to be up at 6:30 with my feet on the floor, 6:30 in the morning. I want to read 10 pages and then go to the gym. And those are my morning daily disciplines. I have other ones too, but in the morning, if I wake up and my feet are on the floor at 6:30, well, now I've done what I said I was going to do and I'm getting a good start. And then I'm going and reading 10 pages. Again, it's easy to do. It's easy not to do. It takes you 15 minutes. I read my 10 pages and now I go hit a workout. So by the time I'm done with my morning, I've done 3 things. And now I'm building momentum into the day. So we talk about how does health and fitness tie into business? Well, if I've gotten up early and I have read my pages and I went and crushed a workout at the gym and I look good and I feel good, and now I'm going into starting my business day, I have high energy. I've already got these 3 wins. My self-confidence is up because I've done everything that I said I'm going to do. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. And I have all this positive momentum, and it's early in the day. Like you're going to go kick ass in your day, no matter what it is you do, whether you're working in the corporate world or you're an entrepreneur, business owner like I am. And that's why fitness ties into this. And then if you're showing up better in the world and in your work day, well, you're going to have better relationships with the people you work with. You're going to have a better relationship with your spouse. If you go crush it all fucking day long and then you come home and you have a family, you're going to be proud of the man that you're being and showing up for your family, and you're setting an example for your kids. You're being a leader for your wife. So like, that's how the fitness rolls into all of life. Like it's going to make every other part of your life better.
Absolutely. And and he's talking about like the strong mill, right? So like you go through this program and you just naturally become strong in general. Like it's physically getting you strong, mentally getting you strong, and obviously um through the conditions, it's making you strong in combat the conditions here. So no,
Well,
no.
one other thing I want to add another thing to that too that's really important is something that's so key about this is it is 100% in you're in control of it. Like there's no outside factor that gets in the way of you deciding to get up at a certain time, of you deciding to read or not read, or go to the gym or not go to the gym, and what you put in your face. Like there's no outside factor that can control you or change those things. Like maybe you have a travel day or a business day or whatever. But at the end of the day, like you are 100% responsible to those, and nothing else can manipulate that or influence it other than your lack of discipline to the shit that you said you were going to do. So when you start doing that, you build this relationship with yourself, because everybody said, oh yeah, I'm going to do that on Monday, I'll start that next week, and then you don't do it. And every single time that you say you're going to do something and then you kick it down the road and you don't do it, you lose respect for yourself and you have a worse relationship with yourself. So then you get into New Year's rolls around, like it's December right now. So why do you think everyone gives up on their New Year's resolutions? Because number one, when they set them, they're like, I didn't hit my goals last year, so I'm not going to fucking hit what I'm doing this year. But it's New Year's resolutions, I better write it down. That's what we're supposed to do, right? And then you see it in the gyms, you see it everywhere. Everyone's going hard, posting their shit, new year, new me, blah, blah, blah. And it's like by the 15th, 2 weeks in, everyone's already quit and given up. So when you do that and you make a pattern of doing that, then you don't believe what you say you're going to do. Like you don't trust yourself, you don't have a good relationship with yourself, and you know you're full of shit and you don't follow through. So if you can flip that by doing the things that you say you're going to do via working out and these easy things we can control, then you're going to that whole thing shifts, and then you're going to be in a better spot with yourself.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, especially on that gym side of it, especially the New Year's resolution, I just laugh at that just because I've been going to the gym for probably 3-4 years after I sobered up. But you see that pattern, right? So like if you go to a public place, it's absolutely jam packed to February, and people are talking trash and whatever it is, and these people are strutting. Like in us, the ones that are seasoned with that, it's like, okay, man, like talk to me in January, November, December. Like talk to me at the end of the year. Let me know what you need to adjust, whatever it is. It just because it's not a non-arrogant way. It's like, hey, we appreciate you. We're glad you're in the fitness world, but there's many more layers into this world to make yourself better and get to the point. So, yeah, that's what I was getting at. And I was trying not to chuckle when you said that. I'm like, absolutely. Like, you guys want to see something funny? Go to a gym at like January, February, March, and especially if you're going there consistently, and the ones that disappear and stuff. So it's hilarious. It's not hilarious because it's kind of mean, but it's a long-term thing, right?
Yeah, well, and I think a really important thing to understand when you're setting any goal is, we live in this world where everyone's looking at the highlight reel on Instagram, and you only see the ups and the wins, and people don't like to talk about the journeys and the downs, but it's like there's not a 20-year overnight success. You know what I mean? Someone who's in shape, that's years. Just because you join a gym or you decide you're going to make some lifestyle changes and you go to the gym for 2 weeks and then people are frustrated that they haven't lost 10 pounds. It's like shit takes time. You know what I mean? You got to go put in 90 days. Like go put your head down for no matter what you're doing, whether it's a fitness goal, business, whatever it might be, go in and just put your head down for 90 days and then look up and see where you're at. And then you can, adjust from there. But I just think having unrealistic expectations is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, barrier between people and getting where they want to be, especially if it comes to fitness. Like I was fat my whole life. I was fat for fucking 34 years. So in my mind, it's like, oh, well, that's my body type. I'm just husky. I'm, all this shit. And it's just like, no, really what it was is I had just given up on the idea that I could be in shape and look good and feel confident with my shirt off. I had given up on that being a fucking possibility is the truth. So then, like you don't see these results in a couple of weeks or a month or whatever. And then you think that like, oh, it's just not going to work for me. And it's like, everything works if you do.
Well, and I'm going to end with this next question here, because obviously I want to honor both of our times, but how much is having a coach kind of overlap that 90, 100, like a full year layout of goal setting to where they can come in and hold you accountable.
This is what I love about coaches. Like I was talking about, everyone wants the overnight success or whatever. What's the shortcut? I don't believe there's any shortcuts in life and business, but if there were a shortcut or a magic bullet or whatever, it would be a coach. And the reason is because you are investing in hiring someone who has the blueprint for what it is you want to do. So go find someone that has what you want, or that knows how to get what you want, and hire them. And then now you have the blueprint. So you're like, you already have a roadmap that works in it, and you know that it works because like it's a thing, right? As long as you're vetting who you're working with, they have the thing that you want. You save with having a coach. You save, and I coach people, and I pay a lot of money for coaches. I invest 6 figures every year in self-development masterminds and groups. And the reason I do that is because of the amount of time and pain and losses that I can skip, because those have gone before me have done it. So when you have a coach, or you're even in a mastermind group, people who are further ahead than you are, they're going to have seen the road and that you're traveling, so they can point out the things that are going to come. And like right now, I got Brendan, who's in my office. There's a lot of stuff where he's at in his business, and it's like, I already know what's coming next because I've done that and I've been there in that spot, so I can like lay it out. And then, so instead of hitting all those problems, he can kind of navigate around them and avoid time and losing money and failure, and the whole mental battle that you go through with that. So I think coaches is probably the biggest, and outside of investing in yourself, like self-development, hiring a coach is the best investment you can make.
Yeah, and I'm going to end it with this thing too, and I'm going to give it thing I noticed the last 60 days about corporate world. The corporate world will invest in you as an employee, right? But the way and the life change of your own life is you flipping that around. So like, you invest in yourself, you'll actually be a lot more further ahead than you would be as a corporation investing in you. They are investing in you to keep as an employee. You invest in yourself with skills so you can excel and make yourself valuable in the long run.
Yeah, they're basically trading money for your time to go towards their dreams or their goals.
Yep.
Is what's happening there. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want something different or something more, you want to transition from being employed into going, into being self-employed or whatever that might look for you, you have to understand that you need to identify where you are, and then you have to identify where you want to go. And you're never going to get there without leaving where you currently are. So if that's fitness, and you have, like, right now, my assistant Laura, she's making major changes. It's awesome to see. She's where she's at, and she doesn't want to be where she's at, and she's she has her goals she wants to go to. And I'm watching her smoke less. I'm watching her cut out soda. I'm watching her cut out fast food. She'll send me pictures, at night, like, oh, I hate eating this shit. Hopefully I start liking it soon. And she's eating chicken and vegetables. She's making these changes.
Yeah.
But she's doing the things she's doing. And what I tell her is just be consistent, because I know it's going to take a little bit of time. But then once those results kick in, and then you have momentum, it's a lot easier to double down on the thing, because then it's working.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you can handle chicken and broccoli, you can handle beef and rice. So it's just one of those meals you just don't taste it at times. You just kind of get used to it, and you just know you hit your micros and macros for the day here. So, man, I know you got someone in your office. I want to cut the time short. Say thank you for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it. Actually, more than just the show, I appreciate the circle that we're in for like the good year and a half here, especially with the people, within the people behind the scenes here. So, thank you very much. Enjoy the snow. Absolutely, just keep killing it, and man, yeah, keep holding your flag and fighting for everyone.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on the show. And if there's anything that I can do to help you or any of the listeners, let me know. You can find me at michael.burns on Instagram. And have a good holiday season, and we'll see what 2024 brings.
All right, absolutely, man. You have a good day.
All right, see you, bro.